All right, so as you can see, we've done a little bit of rearranging here in the shop. What I want to show you first is how to remove a chain. Now there are a handful of options to remove a chain. One of the options is if you're lucky enough that your chain has a master link or a quick link, as it's known. It's pretty simple. You find that quick link in the chain. You just have to look for it. It looks different. You'll see right here, it's got a different appearance than the rest of the links. Use a pair of pliers and squeeze that together to remove the chain. Now there's older types of master links that a lot of us remember from our youth. That was really, they were a little more difficult to work with than the quick link style. I don't know if I could get the pliers the right size, that would help. So we have the quick link style here that we just hold the pliers at a little bit of an angle. We're able to pop that apart, and that takes our chain apart. Now again, with this changeover that we're doing, this is an 8-speed chain. The chains are a different width as well. So 5, 6, 7, and 8-speed chains are all the same width and generally work bike to bike. 9-speed chains are their own specific width, 10-speed chains, 11, even 12. There are variances in the chains. So, and if you have the wrong chain, the bike won't shift right, or it may not work as it should. If your bike does not have a master link, you use a tool called a chain pivot or a chain pin press or a chain breaker, and that goes together, and you use a tool like this. It's a chain press, and you push apart. This is just a new, actually it's a new piece of chain from a chain I just replaced on another bike, and once you press that apart, you're able to bend the chain. Now, if you're going to press it back together with that same pin, you'll want to leave it in like that, but that's just quickly showing you how that works. So now that we've got the chain out of the way, next step is to remove the pedals. Some pedals have a slot on the front, and you use a pedal wrench or a 15mm wrench. This is the pedal wrench I have, most commonly used, Park Tool pedal wrench. I have that. These particular pedals on my son's bike don't have that flat spot in them like a lot of other pedals do. They have a 8mm Allen wrench from the back. These are aftermarket pedals. We had already upgraded his pedals. The original pedal set on this bike were just a plastic pedal. And anybody who's ridden off-road or ridden in wet shoes understands that sometimes a plastic style pedal doesn't necessarily have the kind of grip you're looking for. So, got these pedals off now, and we're going to remove the front side of the crank, or the drive side of the crank. Got these little caps in here. And these little caps, sometimes they push in, sometimes they thread in, but you'll remove that cap. Now this is where the specialty tools start to become necessary when working on a bike. Everything we've used so far, other than that chain rivet tool, has been just a pretty standard issue, you know, run-of-the-mill wrench or whatever it may be. Pay attention on these bolts. Sometimes some are 13mm, some are 14mm, but you get that off of there. Then I use a Park tool. This is the Park CWP chain wheel puller, and it has two sizes for two different types. This is the standard square threaded, you know, standard square bottom bracket. It's very common. One of the most common types of bottom brackets available. So you put that in, then we go to another wrench, we spin the little press, and that's what it does, is it just presses that off of there because it fits on what's called a square taper. So you can see that this is square, but it does have a little bit of a taper to it, and that is what allows the crank arm to slide on and press on, and that allows us to push it off. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the crank arm from this side, and when we come back, we'll remove the bottom bracket. And basically what I want to do for the rest of this video is just show you how to remove these items, and then we'll be cleaning the bike up, and then from there, we'll start doing some of the reassembly. I'll show you some tips and tricks on how to take the grips off and how to put the grips back on, and we'll see you on the other side.